Hi, my loves. This is Isabella Sanfilippo coming at you from WCHS Wall Township, and you're listening to the I Love You podcast, and we're about to go on a deep dive. So today I am joined by
Diya, Becky.
the cool. And guys, it's the part 2 we've all been waiting for. A talk about life. Part 2. So I really liked how the last one turned out, and it was just so much fun talking about life and not having like a specific topic and feeling more free with what we get to say. So here we go. Now we have part 2. We have different questions, and if we want to, we can even go back and add to what we were saying during the first part if we thought of more things to say. So my first question is, are there signs?
So
Do
I
start?
I feel like signs are there if you want them to be there. And it's like anything can be taken as a sign. Like what Izzy was saying before, like let's say you're thinking about something and then it randomly starts like heavy raining. Like you could either take that as, oh my god, that means I'm right, or oh my god, that means I'm wrong. It's just like signs are basically whatever you want them to be. It's just a way to like reinforce your thoughts.
I like that. I didn't think of it like that before, but I thought that was really cute and well said. I also agree that there are signs, like Theo was saying, if you take it to be. And like I'm a Christian, I think that God will send you signs and point you in the right direction and stuff like that. So you just have to look for them and then take them how you want, take them the way that you think they're meant to be taken, probably. But I like how you have to, like, they're there if you want them to be there. I thought that was really cute.
I like what Becky said before when we were talking about this, but the signs that God sends you or anyone you believe in can take you down the right path.
Yeah.
And I think that signs can really guide you. And I used to go to church a lot with my grandma, but she passed. And she gave me this picture. It was like, she's so cool. Like, she like sewed it, and it was just a tapestry kind of thing. And it's a violet because that's my middle name. And then on the leaf of the violet, there's a little ladybug. So whenever I see ladybugs, I think it's my grandma.
That's really
Oh,
sweet.
that's
Yeah.
so cute.
But there was just this one really awful day that I was having, and I got home, and there was like 3 ladybugs I saw, and
Oh,
I was like, this has to be some sort of
Yeah,
sign.
I
Yeah,
love
that
that.
definitely is a sign.
yeah, the same thing when my grandma passed away. Like we went over to my grandpa's house, and then the sky just opened up, and like the rays were coming down, and then my sister looked up what that meant, and it was just basically saying like your loved one made it to heaven, and it was just like the sweetest thing. So I think that was definitely a sign.
Yeah. I think they're signs.
I think so too.
I think there definitely are signs.
And even if there isn't, I want there to be.
Yeah,
So
I think you
I'm
can
gonna say
take
they're
anything.
signs.
Like
Yeah,
yeah,
just
I think
take
you
anything
can
as
say
a
there's
sign.
signs, even if there aren't per se. But.
And I feel like that's what being human is. It's putting meaning to things that might not necessarily have had a meaning if it happened earlier or later based on your experiences.
Yeah.
So now this is a kind of weird question, but is having problems bad?
So, okay. I think in the moment having problems are bad because, like you were saying this, I'm going to pretty much copy what you said, but I very much agreed with it. In the moment having problems are bad and, like, terrible, kind of, depending on the big or smallness of the problem. But then looking back on it, it will help shape you. But then I just wanted to add that also you have to, like, kind of put your problem in context before you deal with it, because there are people having so much worse problems with you, and I think that can help deal with the problem. That's not really on point of the question. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
No, I agree. 100%.
I agree too. I feel like, yeah, problems are kind of just like, I feel like they're there for your character development.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, everyone has problems, and people have like Becky said, like some people have like worse problems than others, but it's like in the end you're gonna look back at it and you're gonna learn something from your problems, or you're just gonna look back at it and be like, that was funny. It's funny that I was so worried at the time.
That's true. I agree with that.
I just think that problems are there as hurdles, like you said, Becky, like in order to shape you. And if you deal with a problem and something like that arises again, you'll know how to deal with it again. So I think that problems are there not to, well, sometimes I guess to push you down, but the point of life is to get back up.
Yeah, hopefully you can
Yeah.
overcome it. And everyone has problems. I guess it's not gonna happen where you don't have any problems.
Yeah.
Maybe for a short period of time, but
And
that's
in the
not
long
reality.
run, it's all gonna, like, you're gonna learn something from them.
Exactly.
Not that like people deserve the problems that they get, but like you will learn something from them.
Yeah, it's all there for a reason.
Yeah. That's literally exactly what I was going to say. It's there for a learning experience.
Yes.
But I liked also what you said, Becky, about putting it in context, because like my brother's a picky eater. So like let's say my grandpa makes this great Italian dinner. He is from Italy, he's from Sicily. His food is to die for. Like every time he comes down from Florida, it's like heaven sent, and he cooks for us. It's the best ever in the world. But my brother, being the picky eater that he is like, no, I don't want that. Like he'll make this gorgeous red sauce, like not even like something like vodka sauce, because I know, Becky, you don't like penne vodka,
Not really.
or like even like Alfredo sauce. This kid doesn't like red sauce.
Wait,
Red sauce? Isn't that
It's just
regular sauce?
pasta sauce.
that's weird.
But my
That's
grandpa
weird.
will come down, he'll make this gorgeous sauce, like the fresh tomatoes from our garden, all of this stuff, and he'll be like, no, I don't want that. I want pasta plain.
With butter?
With
No,
like cheese?
Just plain.
But isn't it really dry?
Like cooked.
No,
But-
but still.
Yeah.
doesn't that taste like
just-
nothing?
Yep.
Oh.
Wow. That's
Yeah. So even though he has like,
kids these days.
Yeah.
I have a point though.
Okay.
Even
sorry.
though no. No, but I'm just rambling for the audience. I'm sorry. I'm getting to the point. So even though he makes like, it's a problem for him that this pasta has the red sauce on it, but putting it in context with the world, other people have a problem because they can't get food, and their supplies are low or they're starving. And my mom always says, Tristan, there's kids who don't have anything to eat, so eat your pasta. And he's like, no, I don't want to eat my pasta unless it's plain. And then he throws a conniption fit. So
Oh my god, my mom used to say that to me all
I've
the
never
time.
heard that.
No, whenever I was younger, and I didn't want to eat, my mom would be like, people who are less fortunate than you have to walk miles to get
Yep.
food, and you have food right here.
Oh,
And
I meant
then-
the word conviction. I thought that's what you were
Oh,
talking about.
conniption
I was
fit?
just,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know what that
Sorry, I've
means.
never heard that before. Continue.
But yeah, and she would basically gaslight me into eating, and then I wouldn't be allowed to leave the table. And sometimes
Well, I
would-
did that. I had to do
Yeah,
that.
and then I would like fall asleep there sometimes.
no.
I got better though. I started
remember
actually eating.
There's this one like soup my mom made, like pasta vazul, and I hate it because it
Oh.
has beans, and I don't like
Yes.
beans.
We were talking about this too.
So that's when I had like my biggest I don't want to eat this like fits. Like most other stuff I would just like eat it because I had to eat, but that was like so gross.
I was such a picky eater as a child, but I feel like children are just picky
No,
eaters.
I was a picky eater, but I just like learned fast.
Yeah,
Like
I
my
feel
parents
like you
weren't gonna
gotta-
give, and I had to eat
Yeah,
it.
me too. I feel like you gotta like grow out of it.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I refused to eat salad.
Really?
Yeah.
And then did you
Like
find out what
any
you were
type of salad?
missing? And you,
Yeah,
like,
and then I
whoops.
just started having salad. I was like, oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah, like,
Why did I
really
act
good.
like this?
It looks a
I
little too
really
healthy,
only like
but-
Caesar salad. The other salads are just kind of like boring and.
I
not
like
really,
salads. Sometimes you just crave a salad. I
Yeah.
don't know.
There's this new place that opened up in Brook 35, Just Salad. Oh my gosh, I am there too much. Too much. But it is so good. They have like reusable bowls you can buy, so like
Oh, that's good.
there's no waste.
That's awesome.
And then if you bring the bowl, you get an extra topping. So I get myself some avocado on top. It's to die for. And they have like so many different salads. They have like a bunch of seasonal salads. And I used to love this like, I love honey mustard. Like whenever I have chicken, like, or chicken fingers or anything, like I'm a honey mustard dipper. I'm not like a ranch girl. I don't like ketchup.
I don't. What?
I don't really like. Yeah,
You
I
like
don't, I don't
ketchup?
like
No.
mustard, and I like ketchup. So
Same.
I
yeah.
don't like ketchup,
That's.
but
a
I do
little-
love honey mustard.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like mustard.
I didn't know this
Izzy.
before. This is gonna cause a problem.
But they have this like honey mustard chicken salad. so good, but they got rid of it, and I was like, no. But
Maybe they'll bring
so
it back
good.
because they are listening right now, and they're like, okay, we'll bring it back.
Maybe
for
you'll
her.
grow
Please.
from this problem. And it'll teach you that maybe honey mustard just isn't all that.
Maybe it'll teach you that ketchup is the way to go, and
Yeah.
then you'll be like, wow, I can't believe I was What do you eat French fries? Do you just eat them with nothing? French
Yeah,
fries?
it's just
Ew.
or sometimes if I have like the honey mustard, I'll dip them in the honey
Ooh.
mustard. Like it's not bad. It's like you dip the
You're-
chicken in
You're
it.
wrong.
I'm sorry.
No way around it. You're wrong. Next question.
You're wrong.
Okay.
Like, this is not like a topic of discussion.
All right. No, I know it's weird that I don't like ketchup. So like I'm
At least you
self-aware.
know.
I'm self-aware.
Yeah, you're not in denial.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I don't know why I just don't like it. Okay, so like Becky said, next question. What matters most in life? And I'm telling you right now, it's not ketchup.
Well, second to ketchup. No, I just think that the people and the relationships you have are the most important. It doesn't necessarily have to be your family because, like, not every family is perfect. So you don't want to just say like, oh, it has to be your family is the most important thing to you. So I think just all people and the relationships you have around you, the ones that matter to you, of course.
Yeah, I feel like just the most important thing in life is like what kind of person you are. Like at the end, like what type of person you became, and yeah, like I feel like your relationships with people and like your effect on people, because that's kind of like that's what you leave behind, like your effect on people.
I agree with that. When you were saying, we were talking about this before, and Dia was saying like my like self, but I didn't really know what you were meaning by it. But I agree with that, like how you act, like how
Yeah.
you present yourself, like the like more your
Like what you
morals, stuff
give
like
to
that.
the
I do
world.
agree with that. I think that's also important.
I 100% agree. And I also just want to add, like, kind of like going along with even the problems question, like, I think something that's really important in life is just getting back up, is just being hardworking and your morals. And if a problem arises, finding a way to combat it and just keep going. And that can be for yourself or for the people you love and for the people you make your relationships for. Because sometimes if there's a problem, you're not able to have the motivation to do it for you. Sometimes you need to be able to do it for other people. And I think that's really why relationships, like Becky said, are so important, because everything is connected. Like, people are going to support you when you need support, and you're going to have to be there when other people need support. So it's a lot of give and take. And I think that just getting back up and living, I think, is what matters most. Being able,
I feel like being able to just like live your life the way that you want. I think just like being happy is the most important thing in life. Or I don't know. Sometimes you have to make like sacrifices for that like might like not make you happy, but just in general, like your general like happiness and well-being is the most important thing.
I 100% agree. Because then it also, like, when you're in a good and stable place, it's easier for the people around you, I think, too. And it's easy for you to be able to support them. Because if you're in a situation where you're not 100% there and neither is someone else, but they need more support than you do, and you're still struggling to get yourself together, that, like, the relationship isn't really going to work, because there's two people who can't help each other, two people who need support but can't support each other. So I think that, like you said, Dia, just like well-being and being able to recognize your effect on people is super duper important.
It's like when you're on an airplane and they say that you have to like put your mask on before like helping anyone else, because you can't help someone else if you're like first not safe yourself.
Mm-hmm. You can't help yourself, or you can't help other people if you have no oxygen and you're not
Yeah,
breathing.
like,
and you can't put the
You
mask
can't
on.
help your child breathe if you can't breathe.
I agree with all of that, but I also think that you can both be struggling together. I don't think
Yeah.
you have to be perfect, and like you can both struggle and figure stuff out together. I know that's kind of like
Yeah, no, I
different than what you guys were saying, but I don't think you have to be completely perfect to help someone else.
I agree with you too.
Okay.
But like to like the extreme though, like you
No, to the
like,
extreme, sure.
Yeah,
but
but
like,
in general, no one's ever gonna be like
Yeah.
perfectly.
Exactly.
but even in the
fine.
extreme, finding someone
even
that
if-
you relate to, if you're both like dealing with the same thing, you might like just knowing you're not alone. That might just be helpful in and of
Yeah.
itself.
it's definitely helpful to like have other people around you, and like no one's gonna be perfect and like have like their mental health like squeaky clean, like no negative thoughts ever. But if you're in a situation where like two people can't support each other, like they just need, I don't know, like
No, I agree with that, but I don't think you meant, like, even if you're having like struggling with stuff like that, I still think you can help people.
yeah.
Like, who are also struggling with the same
like
thing.
if you, I feel like if you struggle with mental health, you could still like
If you can't,
could
then it's
still
gonna work.
help
But I think you
someone
still
else.
can. Yeah.
yeah, but like yourself, like you should still, I feel like, be a priority.
Yeah.
And I do agree with you, Becky, that it helps you like not feel alone, because if you're going through something similar and you have like the same thoughts as as another person, and there's that relatability aspect, that is so amazing, and you're able to connect on a deeper level. But and I think that's also like why like people sharing their stories is so important, because it helps people feel like they're not alone. But if you need someone to talk to, like it's good that they shared their story and you don't feel alone, but I feel like it might be more important to talk to someone like a therapist
No,
if
I
you're
agree
in
with that.
situation.
But I don't think, I mean, this might be like saying things like I haven't been through anything that bad, but I also think sometimes just realizing like you still have an impact, you still can help people, even if it's just like a little thing. One day you're feeling really down and you help someone with something really small. Like, I don't know, for me, that lifts me up.
Yeah.
So I think you shouldn't just hide away and say like, oh, I really can't do anything because I'm in this like terrible state, or like stuff like that. I think you should
Yeah,
still
I
try
feel
to go out there and try to like help people and make connections, because it might actually just lift you up in the long run.
100%.
I feel
I
like
couldn't
you
have said it
could-
more better. That was perfect.
Yeah, and I feel like you could be like struggling and like happy at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like your struggles and then like how you feel, like if you're feeling happy, can like coexist. Like I feel like if you're grieving, like you could still like be happy like while you're grieving.
Yeah,
and
I agree
and
with that.
like, or no matter like what you're struggling with,
Mm-hmm.
you, that's why like you don't always like know what people are like going through, because you could be like happy and struggling at the same time.
I know that it was like on the anniversary of my grandma's death, and like as a family, like we all went to the grave, and then we paid our respects, and then we went to Perkins afterwards, because that's like where she always used to take me and my brothers. And we just kind of went around and told stories about her, and stories about my dad and my uncle and my aunt when they were younger, and my grandma. And even though we were all grieving, we felt like happy in that moment remembering her. So I 100% agree what you said, Dia.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
And I also agree what you said, Becky, because like if you are struggling, it's good to keep trying. I think like kind of like what I said before, like that's what is really important in life, because you can't give up. Like if you're living a life where you don't care, you don't try, that's not really living. Which brings us to the next question. What is the difference between living and existing?
I feel like anyone can exist. Everyone exists, but if you're living, that means that like that you're feeling things, and that like you're having like new experiences, and like even if they're bad, like whatever it is, like if you're like feeling things, you're living. And then existing, like what you were saying before, is kind of like you could be like in a depressive state, and like yeah, you're alive, but like you're not really living.
I was reading this one book. It's called Strangers to Ourselves. It's just a book by this author, Rachel Aviv. And it was just all about different aspects of mental health. So she talked about her experience with poor mental health, and then she also talked about this other man who had depression, but it was in the 70s. So there wasn't really a lot that people could do, and there wasn't medication or things like that. It was kind of the start of medication. and there was like a bunch of these experiments to see like what would work. But the facility that he went to was anti-medication. So they wouldn't give him anything. They thought that if they really understood the patient, it would just make them better, like poof. But in his case, it didn't work. In a lot of the patients' cases, when they were there, it was the right thing for them. And everyone's different, so some people need medication, some people don't. It just really depends on that kind of person, and he was someone who needed medication. But when he went to a different facility where they did give him antidepressants, he reflected back on his experience with depression, and he described it as a numbness. And there's a lot of different kinds of feelings you can have, like constantly when you're depressed. It could be a sadness, but it could be this numbness. So I think that is a big contributor to the just existing. It's just living your life and not really feeling anything. But like, you also don't necessarily have to have depression or anxiety to be in that kind of state. It's more if you're just kind of floating by and you just don't really feel any happiness or motivation or like drive to do anything, and you're just kind of like, I almost like imagining like driftwood that's just like kind of like floating on the sea.
Yeah, like you're going through the motions of like every day, but you don't actually feel anything.
And I think like the driftwood would be existing, but like a wave crashing or like surfing would be life.
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
that's a really good example.
Yeah.
Thank you. But do you guys have anything else to add?
I think you guys said it perfectly.
Yeah, I think
It's
you
pretty
summed
much
it up
what
pretty well.
I thought. I think, actually, but if you're happy, like, I guess existing is not feeling happy, but if you're happy doing the same thing every day, then you go for it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to take life by the, I don't know what I was going to finish that with, like the horns, like, I don't know.
Like,
anyway, you don't have to, like,
you don't have to like go with the flow and
Yeah.
do new stuff every day. It's just
but you
like,
can if you want to.
if you want to. It's just like, just whatever you're doing should, like, you should feel something.
Yeah. For a lot of people, comfort is happiness, and I think that's something really powerful. And
I kind of
there's-
relate to that.
yeah, there's such a power that can be found in comfort, and just like putting on a TV show and baking is comfortable and it makes you happy. So I don't know, it makes me happy.
I feel like there's a lot of like comfort in a routine for a lot of people. I don't like doing the same thing every day, but there are certain things that I like what I do to get ready every morning, like that. I find comfort in that routine.
I find comfort in sleeping. I don't want to wake
Me
up.
too.
I don't want to do my routine. I don't like my routine. I just want to go to bed.
I like my bedtime routine.
I have a
That's the best.
super bad sleep schedule, so
Yeah,
I
know
like
you-
can't really relate to that. But I like to sleep.
Go
I
up to my
just
room at like
don't
9.
sleep.
I read my Bible. I do my little like journal thing. Then I put on TV. Lately it's been Full House, which is what I'm watching. And I put on my sleep timer and I fall asleep. And it's the best.
So nice.
It's very relaxing.
Yesterday,
I can't relate.
yesterday I was literally in my bed. I was like, okay, we're going to bed now. And then I was like, oh, I didn't edit the episode. So then I flew out of my bed, grabbed my computer, and I got it all done. And I like scheduled everything. So that was fun. But that is not my sleep schedule every night. Usually I edit the episodes early. I just don't know, like this week has just been so hectic.
It's been a crazy week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been the longest week ever. I feel like
I don't have to
was,
work
like-
this weekend. Sorry, I'm just
That's
so
so
happy
nice.
about that. I'm
That's
so
so nice.
like at peace with that thought. And I'm going to Sky Zone tonight. Did I tell you guys?
no.
I'm so happy. Sorry, I'm filled
You're
with a lot of
living.
joy.
You're
I'm living the
You
Sky
are
Zone
living.
life.
Tonight I'm going to prom,
I
which I'm so
know.
excited about that too.
I'm so excited for you.
That's so exciting. Tonight I'm just going to gymnastics.
We're all having so much fun, right, Tia?
I'll get through it.
But I'm
It's
really
okay.
excited. We're going to Pete and Elda's afterwards.
I
and
know, I'm excited.
We're
for
gonna
it.
do the pizza
Of
challenge.
course
I
you
am
are.
getting that shirt. I'm getting that shirt. I've been preparing all week.
How?
I've been eating so healthy all week.
Nice.
All week I've been eating salads. I've been eating Kind bars and fruit, lots of smoothies. So I've been training for this moment.
I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. But also for field talk, mostly for field talk. It wasn't all for P and L, but a little bit for P&L. But yeah, well, leave a comment. Tell us what you're doing tonight. But yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap up. We said a lot today, a lot about life.
Yeah, we did.
I'm your host, Isabella Sanfilippo.
I'm Diya.
I'm Becky.
Thank you for listening, and tune in for the next deep dive. And remember,
We
we
love
love
you.
you.